another replay. Okay. Here we go. Nice and big. Oh, ooh. Well, now, there we go. All right, so I'm playing against Jeskai Control here. Typically not a bad matchup. Again, I'm using my newer list that I just recently posted in the Lantern Primer. Again, using the information I got off of the spreadsheet. So opening hand, Inquisition. I like that. And I also have Collective Brutality. So both of these things usually imply that the game's going to go very well for me if I have them in the opening hand. And I got the mana to cast both. So do turn 1 Inquisition. I want to grab the Remand because that's the thing that can slow me down the most. Anger of the Gods and Path to Exile do nothing to me. Lightning Bolt does a little bit, but I'll be okay. The Remand is the thing that can do the most to me. So play out my hand before my opponent can do any counters. I don't use Pixis here because I don't want to mill one of my own lanterns, or exile one of my own lanterns or whatever accidentally. Yeah, I got Surgical here. I don't need it yet. Stirrings, grab that needle. Opponent lets it resolve. So I named Flooded Strand. I wasn't quite sure. Like, I could have named it Tectonic Edge, but I don't think Tectonic Edge would have mattered, really. Now I have an opportune time. I do the Collective Brutality to make sure that I don't have to worry about a counter. Yeah. Grab the Path, and Surgical the Cryptic Commands. Now, after I Surgical the Cryptic Commands, I realize my opponent has 0 answers to what I have going on. The most they can do is try to burn me out with bolts and helixes. That is the most. So that's the only option the opponent has left. And my opponent gets 1 draw. And I realized that I messed up right there. I should have done Ghost Quarter first on the Tectonic Edge before I played the Fair. But fortunately, the opponent didn't catch it. So it's a mistake that I should have been aware of. So, I mean, if both of us had played perfectly, it wouldn't even come up. Yeah. I Infernal Tutor, so I can go get that Lantern. Keep my opponent off of the burn. And I Pixis to take out, make sure they don't get the Emrakul Shuffle. So it's a really easy game at that point. Now this is a much longer game, as you can tell here. I did expect, what's it called? Stony Silence, so I cited in both Quiet Disrepair and Seal of Primordium. I cited out 1 Surgical and I cited in 1 Extirpate. I wanted to do more keep all 3 Surgicals in and then Extirpate. I think that's what I did. I don't remember. But I knew that I needed, and I think I would have kept 3 needles instead of 4. I can't remember. Because I knew they had Nahiri, and normally they do some number of engineered explosives. So, here, hard info visible. There we go. Now, again, I keep the opening hand because I have Lantern and Brutality in the opener, which is, according to the spreadsheet, a very good thing. And I have Bridge in the opener. Opponent has a pretty decent hand. Um, of course, I blind name engineered explosives here. Opponent is smart to crack Arid Mesa in response. I don't know why they grab the planes. So I lure out a counter. I think about luring out a counter with the lantern because I have another lantern. And I get an extirpate on top. So that means I just need to get the cryptics into the graveyard again, and I'm good to go. Because that should mean the only answers my opponent has to me is engineered explosives or cryptic, typically. Most likely. Stony Silence doesn't do anything to me. I won't run out of cards. They will eventually, especially since I got an extirpate in hand. So, and I still have the surgicals in the deck. Yeah, I'm going to do the discard to try to lure out a cryptic. Yeah, there's a surgical. I don't need it right now, but I do need a land. So I do. I'm going to play out. I believe I. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, Ghost Quarter to try to cut him off red mana. Because there's a lot of red sources that can, like destroy artifacts and whatnot, and Nahiri requires a red. And on top of that, if they go get a mountain, it cuts them off cryptic mana. So it buys me more time, and of course it gets a mountain. So that buys me time before cryptic hits. And I play Seal. Since I realize that they probably have nothing answering it. There's a needle on top, and again, I'm pretty sure I saw the unmanned on there. There's a Stony on top. I could have just shuffled it away, but again, I'm not worried about Stony, especially if I got Seal. Yeah, unfortunately, it does exile my Seal. I've totally forgot about that. I was like, oh crap, I screwed that up. But fortunately, the deck makes up for my lack of foresight there. I'm able to needle Nahiri. Yeah. Opponent thinks for a little bit here. Yeah, there's the Stony Silence, which is smart because I'm pretty sure you saw the Codex Shredder coming up. So now I play the Quiet Disrepair on Stony Silence. Now, opponent has a blue source coming up. I can't sack the lantern to shuffle it away. So they're going to get the blue source. So now this forces them to use the cryptic in order to get rid of my Quiet Disrepair, which means that I can then extirpate the cryptics and I'm home free. Yeah, now he's smart. He bounces the Stony Silence to kill my Quiet Disrepair. And then replace the Stony Silence. So I don't have to worry about the cryptic in hand yet. I'm just waiting. And I kind of do want to draw that surgical anyways, so I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to draw the surgical no matter what. Yeah, Crumble the Dust unfortunately shuffles it away. What was it? Okay, surgical, yeah. So I took out a surgical to put into extirpate. Needle, yeah, I sided in the needle. In the 2 Grafdigger's case, because it's Snapcasters. Because I was afraid of the, bolt, snap, bolt for the win type stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for my opponent's draw phase to do the extirpate. Now what I probably should have done here is extirpate before they drew the spell snare, that way I can cast the Infernal Tutor safely. But I don't. I wait until after He tries to negate it, and I have to remind my opponent, yeah, you can't negate extirpate. It's happening no matter what. So I get all those cryptics. So again, now my opponent has 0 answers in deck to me. They have to try to burn me out. And burn me out from 20 life before I hit my abrupt decay. Some number of abrupt decays. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with 4 snapcasters. They have to hit all of those before I then what's it called? My abrupt decay or Inventor's Fair to start gaining life. And again, I still have in the Quiet Disrepairs, or not Quiet Disrepair, Collective Brutality to also gain life. So they have to worry about countering those as well. Now, it does a couple of counters to negate and whatnot. And I have to remind my opponent they can't Tectonic Edge because I only have 3 lands here. Now here they can Tectonic Edge, unfortunately. I was kind of dumb there. So that was really dumb, and now they're going to be able to, I thought they had, oh yeah, there it is, Crumble to Dust on top. So they're going to be able to get rid of my Glimmer Voids. That's going to cut me off mana pretty well. Now what they could have done was also Tectonic Edge with the other one on the stack to take out 2 lanes. Yeah, so there goes all of my Glimmer Voids. Fortunately, I do still run 2 basics, so I still can I can still cast Abrupt Decay. It's still not going to matter. So opponent tries to go for the burn plan now. Letting stuff get through, and it's just us playing meaningless spells for a bit. He counters the Grafdigger's Cage. It's got to, because the Snapcasters are additional burn. There's another Stony Silence. Now I need 2 Abrupt Decays, but I happen to have 2 Abrupt Decays, so that's fine. So now I have Surgical Extraction. Try to cast that. Yeah, grab Inventor's Fair with the Stirrings. Play Inventor's Fair. Now I'm going to start gaining life, and I have a Collective Brutality on top. They're out of counters. So that means that I'm going to start getting more life than they can burn me out for. And once I play that, they lose connection to the game. So, and that's it. So yeah, it worked really well. I did have inevitability. So, I mean, if I needed to, if I really needed to, I could Ghost Quarter myself at some point and go get my other mana that I basic that I need to cast Abrupt Decay. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to win. The best they can do is try to shuffle stuff up with Emrakul, but whatevs.